Will Wizard Chan run on the Nokia? Fuck. No! Server failure. Fuck. I got Lane Chan working, but I could only view the home page. I don't think the phone had enough memory to view any threads or anything. But what do you expect? That's kind of a segue into another topic I wanted to talk about, which is sort of a passion of mine, which is funny given that if this is even uploaded it will be on YouTube. I really should host it on my own website, but then no one will ever watch it. Maybe that's more magical that way anyway. Anyway though, a big passion of mine is, I guess, online privacy, even though if you learn anything about that, you quickly come to see that those two things, those two words, that phrase is kind of an oxymoron in and of itself. But really being online and privacy are in direct conflict with each other, and that's just sort of the way that things have been set up. And deliberately, of course, or profit driven. But yeah, it's a big passion of mine. I must admit I've sort of fallen off that bandwagon a little bit as of late, as I've been I have another YouTube channel that I won't disclose just for privacy's sake, where I upload and sell music. I didn't mention that before, but that's sort of how I fund the very little that I buy. Is not through working, but through selling music and instrumentals online. And I've been really committing to that, and as a result I've had to use YouTube a lot more. So I've sort of had to forsake privacy a little bit, because in the past the little that I would use YouTube would be through a service called Invidious. I don't know if that's a correct pronunciation, but it's sort of a privacy front end for YouTube. So they host the information, and you can watch it through them instead of YouTube. They're sort of a third-party middleman that allows you to watch YouTube content without having to directly give all of your information to Google. Granted, you're not using Chrome or a Chromebook or whatever. But yeah, like, for a long time, for quite a while now, probably almost coming up on 2 years now, I've been using Linux, or I should say GNU/Linux, but I don't really want to sound that pretentious, even though that's technically correct. That's a discussion for another time. I just want to take a second to appreciate the ambience of the rain. I'm what's called a pluviophile, which is a lover of rain. I absolutely love rain, so it's fortunate that it's begun as I've reached this watchtower. But as I was saying, Linux is, I'm just going to refer to it as Linux, I don't care. Linux is, it's been one of my, a big passion for me. I've used many distros. Right now for a while now I've just simply stuck with Mint, as it is very simple and it does everything I need. It allows me, I run FL Studio, which is a digital audio workstation. I can emulate that through Wine, and that all works well. And just having an actual window manager as opposed to a tiling window manager, which I used for a while and currently use on my ThinkPad. It's more efficient for me. For a while I used that on my PC. I would use I went through many distros. I think I went from Arch to Void to, I don't know, I think I some slightly Void, and then I don't know, there are some more I'm forgetting, but eventually I stuck with the Arctics. That's what I run currently on my laptop, and that works perfectly fine for my ThinkPad, as it's really only powerful enough as a means to do very basic processes, mostly just running a web browser. But that's fine, because that's all it really gets used for. So yeah, and it's been good. It both allows me to improve my privacy while at the same time just sort of learning more and having an interesting experience, having a new avenue, a new passion. But it hasn't been constant, just because, well, really due to my own laziness. In the past I played Overwatch a lot. That was my favorite game for many years. So I sunk many thousands of hours into that game, and although I did get it running once on Linux, it was just really a mess, and the performance was terrible, and I probably could have got it working, but I had a sort of sense of OCD that I wasn't getting the correct performance that I should have been getting, and I played at quite a high level. I reached Grandmaster on many accounts, and I think my peak was rank 424 in NA, which is Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and America, of course. So yeah, I felt for what I wanted the maximum performance that I could get, and so I would sporadically switch between Windows and back to Linux during periods when I wouldn't play Overwatch on my main computer. But now I haven't been playing any video games in months. I've quit playing Overwatch now, just because I've achieved all that it has to offer. Sure, I could play more, and I could make the number go up, down. I could reach a higher rank, but really in the end it's just sort of a Skinner's box of dopamine injection, and it just ultimately felt like a bit of a waste of time, when now I just want to dedicate all my time to my music, as I make decent enough money off of that. Not amazing, and I want to expand it, but it's enough. So back to what I was saying about privacy, online privacy. There was just a train sound that kind of scared me for a second. It sounded almost human-like. That was weird. So anyway, yeah, I want to get back into being sort of a militant privacy enthusiast. I still am to an extent, but just been falling for the easy road when I should be sacrificing for the privacy. You know, for example, since I've been uploading more YouTube videos, instead of I mainly use LibreWolf as my web browser, which is sort of a fork of Firefox with better privacy defaults and many of the less than desirable aspects of Firefox taken out, stripped away. So there's no Firefox Pocket, many of the geolocation tracking and standard Google web search engine disabled, and just it has uBlock Origin I think it has uBlock Origin installed by default, and it just has better defaults. But when I had that hardened, I would disable JavaScript and experiment with various browser extensions and such to try to lower my fingerprint and use Molvad VPN and stuff. But lately, because I've been uploading more music, I've just switched over to using just Firefox and not erasing cookies and history each time I close, just because I want to be able to easily access YouTube every time I want to upload music, or so that's not good, and I need to reevaluate that and head back in a better direction, just because I feel better when I do. It's very much akin to eating healthy. It is a sacrifice, but ultimately you feel a lot better. I feel better when I'm not using Google services and the for lack of a better word, normie side of the web. I feel much cleaner. I don't feel it's contaminated by that filth. I can't tell if I heard footsteps. I think I'm just being paranoid. It's alright, It's alright, I'm just being paranoid. There's no one around. At least I hope so. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So I feel better when I'm more aligned with better privacy techniques. I don't use any apart from YouTube, but even that is, well, technically social media. I would argue it's not really the same as the others. Apart from occasional use cases where I might need to message a person, I've had Instagram a few times, but I never post or anything. I never even actually use it. It's always just, if I'm using it to purchase certain things, I'll have to message people through there. But other than that, I don't use TikTok. I don't use Twitter. I don't use Instagram. I don't use Facebook. So that's good at least. I'm not there. I don't use those. Oh, the rain keeps hitting the bottom of this. It's this made of steel or metal or something. It sounds like somebody down there, even though I know there isn't. But it's just kind of disconcerting. Yeah, it's nothing. I'm just imagining it.